Great evening. Well, here we go again. I cannot believe what I'm reading, so I'm going to share this one with you as well. I am just absolutely floored. So what I'm going to read is, and I will put the URL if you want to look at it yourself later, 10 things you should know about Concerned Women for America. Don't you love it? Concerned Women for America. They sound so wholesome, don't they? Number 1, Concerned Women for America opposed renewing the Violence Against Women Act because it creates new protections for homosexuals, despite also claiming that LGBTQ couples were twice as likely to experience domestic violence. Unsurprisingly, they also oppose hate crimes legislation. Yes, you heard it here. Concerned Women for America are protesting the Violence Against Women Act and hate crime legislation. Now you gotta wonder, what is up with these women? Well, let's read and see what exactly it says. This is like, you can't make this stuff up, okay? You just can't. These women, and you wonder why they vote for Trump? These women are Looney Tunes, okay? Well, let's read. CWA, Concerned Women for America. And I'm just going to read the VAWA, which is Violence Against Women's Act. So CWA opposed the VAWA in part because it creates new protections for homosexuals, those horrible people, okay? According to Right Wing Watch, CWA said in an email, this legislation, which is normally a boondoggle for feminists groups, has become even more political this Congress. The Violence Against Women's Act, 1925, creates new protections for homosexuals. In order to receive federal grants, domestic violence organizations have to agree to embrace the homosexual agenda. It also expands categories of who is eligible to receive services. These broad definitions actually squander the resources for victims, for genuine victims, okay, of actual violence. Like the ones against homosexuals isn't violence. It's okay. But against actual violence by failing to properly prioritize and assess victims. This was from the Right Wing Watch 423, 2012. You think it's gotten any better since then? No, hasn't gotten any better. In fact, they're getting more radical as they go. So let's continue on with this. CWA said one reason to oppose VAWA was because it sought protections for sexual orientation and gender identity. According to CWA website, a major problem with VAWA is it lacks appropriate focus on the issues at hand. Currently, VAWA has language seeking grant conditions for sexual orientation and gender identity. Adding such controversial language to a bill that seeks to protect women diverts focus from victims of violence and bogs it down with partisan political messaging. Dr. Janice Shaw Krause, Senior Fellow of Concerned Women for America, Beverly LaHaye Institute, puts it very plainly. Decent people, I love this, decent people are outraged at the abuse of women. But VAWA is more about building feminist power structures than about protecting vulnerable women or addressing the major problems of battered women who end up in hospital emergency rooms. This was from CWFA Organization, 2/11/2013. Let's continue forward. Oh, yes, it just continues to get even better. A CWA spokesperson said the Violence Against Women Act represents a war against men. Did you know it's a war against men? Well, you should read this. Oh, my God. I'm just here to let you know, so you too can get on this bandwagon, okay? Janice Krauss wrote in an op-ed for USA Today, feminists like to repeat the mantra that there is a war against women. But when women can routinely claim nebulous psychological harm and keep a man out of his home and away from his children, possibly losing his job and ruining his reputation, there's more of a war against men than against women. Oh, yes, they actually said this. This is from USA Today, 3/9/2012. Again, you think it's getting any better? Think they're getting any less radical? No. Let's continue forward. CWA said the Violence Against Women Act had become a slush fund for feminist causes. According to the New York Times, for some conservative groups, however, even the core of nearly 20-year-old VAWA law was unacceptable. The Concerned Women for America, an independent women's forum, had said that the law had de-evolved into a slush fund for feminist causes that harms men unfairly and encourages the dissolution of marriages. This is for 27/2012. Let's continue forward to see this brilliance of humanity. CWA's founder said that hate crime laws would infringe upon the freedom of speech in churches to teach the biblical view of homosexuality. Can you believe this? Hate crime laws infringe on their ability in a church to talk against homosexuality. The Associated Press reported Beverly LaHaye, founder and president of Concerned Women for America, warns that laws against hate crimes might prevent churches from speaking out against homosexuality. I can see the road signs that hate crimes will one day affect freedom of speech that we have in churches to teach what the Bible says against homosexuality, she told the Southern Baptist Seminar. This gem was put out there 3/27 in 1992. Let's look at a little bit more of their brilliance. Oh yes, this goes on and on and on. Are we having fun yet? Lord have mercy. CWA alleged that hate crimes were fabricated. Did you know all hate crimes are all fabricated? They don't exist. It's a lie. It's a lie. In order to build momentum for federal hate crimes legislation. They're fabricated. Yeah, they said this. Concerned Women for America wrote in a press release, but evidence continues to mount indicating that an alarming percentage of the already small, minute number of hate crimes allegedly motivated by sexual preference, may have been fabricated by homosexual activists in an attempt to create a political atmosphere ripe for passage of federal hate crimes legislatures. Concerned Women for America 4407. Oh, I know. Those damn homosexuals, they're a whiz at makeup, aren't they? They're not actually getting beat up. They're not actually getting killed. It's all a fabrication. Us Women for America understand. CWA alleged that hate crimes legislation violated the 14th Amendment. Did you know that? Hate crimes violates the 14th Amendment. So let's delve into this, okay? Concerned Women for America wrote in a press release, hate crimes legislation flies in the face of the 14th Amendment. Such legislation would require the government to invest more resources in the investigation and prosecution of crimes against homosexuals than it would against the victims at Virginia Tech. It's an irrefutable fact that H.R. 1592 would treat certain citizens unequally from others. This was from the Concerned Women for America press release 4/26/07. A CWA spokesperson claimed that domestic violence is twice as common among LGBTQ couples as it is among heterosexual couples. Janice Krause wrote in a column published on townhall.com, further, the health risks associated with homosexual practice are very real and very much in evidence in the emergency rooms of hospitals. What are they there? Taking count? Are they sitting there? Are you a homosexual? Check. Wait. Check. There is no denying homosexual sex is dangerous. It's destructive to the human body. Both HIV and HPV are epidemic among homosexual men. Domestic violence is a common problem, twice as prevalent among homosexual couples as in heterosexual ones. From the Town Hall, 3/9/2010. That's only number one. Now we get to number two. And you think they've gotten any better? No. Let's continue to go forward. Concerned Women for America does not wish you a happy birthday. In fact, they attacked Hallmark for the crime of selling greeting cards celebrating same-sex couple weddings. CWA Wright said Hallmark was jeopardizing its brand as a family-friendly company by selling same-sex marriage greeting cards. According to LifeSite News, when Hallmark started selling same-sex marriage greeting cards in response to an increased demand, Wendy Wright, president of Concerned Women for America, said Hallmark is jeopardizing its brand as a family-friendly company. Customers used to be able to trust Hallmark to produce quality products that were safe for all ages. Now parents will need to steer their kids from Hallmark's section of the greeting card aisle and away from its previously heartwarming movies for fear they too will push homosexual messages. 8/22/2008. Oh yes, if your children go down that Hallmark hall card, they may turn into homosexuals. Protect the children. Protect the children. God. Let's continue forward, shall we? Take a deep breath. Whoa. Okay. C.W.A. Krauss, by selling same-sex marriage greeting cards, Hallmark was latching on to the latest fad generated by homosexual special interest groups and negating its image as a wholesome company. According to LifeSite News, when Hallmark started selling same-sex marriage greeting cards in response to increased demand, Janice Krauss, director and senior fellow of CWFA's Beverly LaHaye Institute, said, "By latching on to the latest fad generated by the homosexual special interest groups, Hallmark is negating its image as a wholesome company that promotes American values and pro-family principles in its products. American businesses have a cooperative response to the public that buys their products. Instead of bolstering campaigns by special interest groups like homosexual activists, corporations like Hallmark should be protecting American culture from those forces that would destroy the family and create a public environment that's detrimental to general well-being, especially children's well-being." 8/22/2008. Yes, there's nothing like a homosexual greeting card that's going to ruin America. Number 3. Yes, we've come to number 3. CWA said same-sex marriage is as wrong as giving a man a license to marry his mother or daughter or sister or a group. Oh, Lord. CWA compared LGBTQ activity to incest and said same-sex marriage is as wrong as giving a man a license to marry his mother or daughter or sister or even a group. On CWA's site, their talking points on homosexual marriage state, homosexual marriage is again as wrong as giving him a license to marry his mother, sister, or a group. The assumption by many is that marriage is just two people with a license who have sex and wear rings. Homosexuals do that. Why not give them the license? Engaging in sex doesn't equal marriage. Adults involved in incest have sex too. So should government call it a marriage and license them as well? Well, certainly not. That's the CWFA or talking points on why homosexual marriage is wrong. This was written in 9/16/2003 and updated in 2014. Okay? CWA's Matt Barber said, when two men mimic the act of heterosexual intercourse with one another, they create an environment, a biological counterfeit where disease can thrive. CWA released a press release on antibiotic-resistant staph infection that was being transmitted by gay men during sex. According to CWA, Matt Barber, Policy Director for Cultural Issues with Concerned Women for America, said the medical community has known for years that homosexual conduct, especially among males, creates a breeding ground for often deadly disease. In recent years, we've seen a profound resurgence in cases of HIV and AIDS, syphilis, rectal gonorrhea, and many other STDs among those who call themselves gay. The human body is quite callous in how it handles mistreatment and the perversion of its natural functions. When two men mimic the act of heterosexual intercourse with one another, they create an environment of a biological counterfeit wherein disease can thrive. Unnatural behaviors beget natural consequences. In recent years, our culture has adopted a laissez-faire attitude towards sexual deviancy. television shows like Will and Grace. Will and Grace. Why, that's practically porn. They glorify the homosexual lifestyle while our children are taught in schools that homosexuality is a perfectly healthy alternative to sexual orientation. Stay out of our bedrooms. We're often commanded by militant gay activists. I don't think any militant gay activists are trying to get into your bedrooms, frankly speaking. Move over. Move over. We're coming in. Okay. This was in 1/15/2008. CWA said same-sex marriage is a counterfeit, a sham, and a fraud. This devalues heterosexual marriage because anytime a lesser thing is made equal to a greater, the greater is devalued. So let me get this right. Your marriage has now gone right down the tubes because there are homosexual marriages that look better than yours? Okay. Oh, compose. Let's go forward. According to talking points on their website, don't you love this? Lord have mercy when we look at their website and go to all their talking points. I wonder how long a day they sit there and memorize these things. Oh, God. Licensing the unnatural does not make it natural. It would be a state-sanctioned counterfeit, a sham, and a fraud. A licensed electrician cannot produce power by taping two same-sex plugs together. What the hell? Oh, God. Homosexual sex is dangerous. It's destructive to the human body and powerless for human reproduction. The only procreation homosexuals can engage in requires that a third party must be brought into the relationship. Granting a marriage license to homosexuals because they engage in sex is as illogical as granting a medical license to a barber because he wears a white coat or a law license to a salesman because he carries a briefcase. Real doctors, lawyers, and the public would suffer as a consequence of licensing the unqualified and granting them rights, benefits, and responsibilities as if they were qualified. Homosexual marriage will devalue your marriage. A license to marry is a legal document by which government will treat the same-sex marriage as if it were equal to the real thing. A license speaks for the government and will tell society the government says that marriages are equal. Anytime a lesser thing is made equal to a greater, the greater is devalued. This was again updated in 2014. Okay. Yes, they only issue marriage license because of sex. I'd like to know if all those good Christian couples had sex before they were married. How could you do that? You didn't have a license. A shame. CWA listed one of their concerns, the disrespect of family, the attempt to eliminate the natural distinctions between men and women. On defense of family, CWA's position says that marriage between a man and a woman, it states under concerns the disrespect for family and the unique contribution of fathers and mothers. The attempt to eliminate natural distinctions between men and women. Goals included the respect for the distinctness of men and women. This was updated in 2014. Now, I don't know. I've seen a lot of gay couples, lesbian couples that have children that are way more balanced than these so-called good Christian families, children are. Okay? And we are only to number 4. We have got, oh Lord, this just keeps going and going. It would take me a year to read all of this. But anyway, you get the idea. I'm going to put the link here. If you want to see any more of this diatribe, next they go on to Obama. Okay. Oh, Lord. So I'm just going to read the next. Number 4 is when President Obama condemned Uganda's draconian legislation criminalizing LGBTQ people. CWA accused the president of practicing cultural imperialism, saying Obama, of all people, should realize how offensive his position on homosexuality is to devout Muslims. Okay, and under that we have A, B, C, D. Okay, subs under that. So number 5 is CWA lobbied against anti-bullying legislation. Are you kidding? They lobby against anti-bullying? Because one of its aims was promoting acceptance of lesbian and gay people. Just another way CWA thinks the pansexual agenda is being promoted in school. So they're against anti-bullying. Yes, go out there and bully everyone. Go beat the hell out of them. It's okay. They're women. They're feminists. They're LGBTQ. That's okay. You can go beat the shit out of them. Not a problem. Unbelievable. Oh, yes, it actually says that. And then that one has, let's see, under that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 subsections. Okay? Lord have mercy. Number 6. Even though CWA opposed non-discrimination legislation, it's not because they don't think discrimination exists. They just think it's a cultural conservatives who are being discriminated against. Yeah, they're being discriminated against. Oh, poor babies. They're just so abused. And that one has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 subsections. Oh my God. CWA, this is number 7, said Ellen DeGeneres guides her housewife fans into rebellion against God's divine and explicit natural order, and has also claimed feminism had been taken over by lesbians. And this little gem has 1, 2, 3, 4 subsections. Number 8, CWA opposed that hugely successful repeal of Don't Ask, Don't Tell, because allowing gay, lesbian, and bisexual service members to openly serve and honestly say was radical San Francisco-style experimentation. That gem has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 subsections. Number 9. CWA said that same-sex foster partners were using children like guinea pigs and have fought against LGBTQ parents receiving custody of their children. They even said Mary Cheney's decision to have a baby with her partner injured the child and was unconscionable. Oh, that's right. Rip the children away from their parents because their parents are gay. That's it. Just take away their natural children as well. And this little gem has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 subsections. Number 10. CWA thinks protecting transgender employees and students from discrimination and respecting their gender identity opens the door to predators and pedophiles and endangers women and children. I guarantee none of them would be interested in any of you. You're quite safe. Okay? So this has got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 subsections. So I will, even if you read just the titles of the subsections, you can get an idea. And this is only one of these Fruit Loop groups that are out there. And you wonder, why these women that are coming on there and speaking Women for Kavanaugh, okay? Why you want to just reach through the screen and grab some of these Republican women by the neck and just shake them. Wake up. This could have something to do with it. If you can feel energy at all, they all look like they have a stick up their ass and they just smell pile of crap. We are such God's holy people. Yeah. And they've got more abuse. They've got more out there, with having affairs. Oh, that's okay. That's okay. If they have an affair with somebody, that's okay. Male, female, it's okay. These people are, really beyond. And again, this has been undergoing these things for a long time. It's not getting any better. Now it's getting even more radical than what was there. Even more radical. Okay, we've just touched the tip of the iceberg. Now they're becoming very nationalistic. Okay, us against everyone. If you're not white bread, okay, then you need to be out of this country. So now it's not just lesbian and gay community, feminists. Now they're against anybody of color as well. Okay? This is a very hateful group of people. Self-righteous, sit themselves on their little thrones. Look down their nose at everyone and everything. Okay? And they really think they're following the dictates of Christianity? Not any type of Christianity that I know. Okay? So I'm going to leave this here. Again, if you want to see for yourself, the URL, the link is there. Check it out. And I'm going to keep digging and seeing what else of these loopy loops and groups are out there. Lord have mercy. Anti-hate groups. They're against this. They're against that. They're against... Is there anything that they're for? Okay? Is there anything that these people are for that has to do with something other than their primary little white lives? Okay? I'm surprised they don't all have 10-foot fences around their properties. Because maybe a gay person will walk by and look at their house and it'll be under destruction. I mean, that's... Anyway, yeah, this has been a long one. And again, I only got like 1/3 of the way through that. See you online. Aho.